The Ashes of Creation situation right now has been kind of unreal. How they went from one of the most anticipated upcoming MMORPGs to now one of the most reviled MMORPGs. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation, and a lot of rumors going around concerning the game, concerning Steven, concerning the community manager Margaret, concerning the staff members overall, the state of the game, whether you can refund it, whether they're going to be issuing refunds, everything. But Margaret herself, Margaret Cron, posted just 7 hours ago a thread over on the official Ashes of Creation subreddit titled My Experience, where she went over everything. Or at the very least, I'm assuming she goes over everything. Before we jump in, I also want to point out that there are other content creators that have gone over numerous different aspects of the game. I know Kira went very deep into it because he has some contacts in the studio. He also went on to, I believe, state that Steam itself is going to, or has frozen the funds for Ashes of Creation, and therefore they're not going to get whatever they made over the course of the Steam release for the last month. Additionally, if you purchase through Steam, now is the opportune time to attempt to refund it because they are processing every refund, and there are hundreds of people on Twitter and dozens of people, hundreds of people on the subreddit that are all stating that they have successfully received their refunds as well. Now let's take a look at the Reddit thread. I waited until today to share this because I wanted to be sure that I was communicating from a place of clarity. Intrepid Studios is shut down in a way that I did not expect. What I can share is what I experienced. On January 28th, toward the end of the workday, I was informed that we would be laying off 100 developers. That's actually kind of crazy. I was devastated. These are hardworking people who were going to lose their jobs. Still, I believed it was something we could face together and find a path forward from. On January, I actually do feel really bad for everyone involved. Not only the 100 people that were confirmed to be losing their jobs, but everyone now that is confirmed to be losing their jobs, including Margaret herself. On January 29th, I shared this information confidentially with my game services team. I told them that changes were coming, that I did not yet know who would be affected, and that I wished I had more certainty to offer. I could not live with myself if I did not give them advance notice. These are people who deserve to be treated like human beings. By the end of the day, I received confirmation of which people on my team would be impacted. On January 30th, I spoke individually with each of my team members to let them know whether they were affected so they could begin planning and preparing. Those who were staying began working on ways to move forward, which would have been very difficult, not only from an emotional standpoint, but also because the workload would have increased exponentially at that juncture. Even those who knew they would be leaving offered their support, showing the grace, the professionalism, and the strength that defined our game services team. On January 31st, we were all informed via a confusing email, and this is the email that's actually circulated online, that we would be laid off along with a WARN notice. It is still shocking. So I guess Margaret herself, every single person received that email. The entire studio gathered to try and understand what had happened and what it meant for our future. That was actually a horseshit move. Incredibly unprofessional from whoever sent that out. The upper management, the board of directors. In the end, none of us are receiving our final paychecks. That right there is pathetic. They are not paying the staff members for their entire, final months? The 60 days notice and pay outline under the WARN Act, PTO, payouts, or other compensation owed. What matters most to me now are the people, both the players and the developers. To the players, the entire development team was working extremely hard, pulling long hours, and wishes with all our hearts that we could give you Ashes of Creation. And you know what? If they do successfully move the development of the game overseas, people might get Ashes of Creation. It might just be a mobile game from China. There are no words that fully express how sorry we are that this journey ended this way. You should pursue a refund. You deserve it. To my colleagues, this team is truly a family. The culture we built together is something that I have never experienced anywhere else. In the midst of heartbreak and uncertainty, we have come together to review resumes, help with portfolios, share job leads, and support one another emotionally. That says everything about who we are as people. And goddamn, can you imagine having worked on this game for years? Because Ashes of Creation, what was it? Apocalypse? Wasn't that in 2014? That was over 10 years ago. Ashes of Creation itself has been in development for at least 8 years, right? And I mean, if you factor in Apocalypse and everything else, the game has been a concept at least for over a decade. So imagine being one of the OG team members here that were working on the game, trying to bring their vision to life, make their dream a reality, investing years and years worth of their time, their effort into creating their dream and bringing it to life, and then just being smacked to the ground, kicked to the curb. God damn. That's actually pathetic. Like, it's unreal. And the game never even fully released, never even made it out of alpha testing. God damn. For hiring managers and recruiters, we'll be hosting a job fair for former Intrepid Studios employees. These are extraordinary professionals who will be amazing assets to any team. If you're interested in participating, we would be deeply grateful if you would fill out the participation form. I wish I had better news. I wish our story had ended differently, Margaret. Now, I actually know, and because I've seen this over on social media, there have been a significant number of players that are upset with Steven himself, as you should be. That dude is a fucking tool. Margaret herself has also been the subject of a lot of attacks because apparently she had a connection, a relationship with Steven. I believe she stated at one point that they were friends. Don't quote me there. Apparently, people on social media have brought up these quotes, and therefore they are attacking her as a direct result of that friendship she has, because they are of the opinion that if she were friends with Steven, she should have communicated to not only the other members of staff, but also the players as a community manager of what was going on. And that there were certain things that had been known since way back in November, so for several months at this juncture. There are people that are attacking these staff members overall. The developers, the programmers who literally just come to work and start working. They get on their computers and they start designing worlds, designing models, coding. That's it. Those people are being attacked. Like, the amount of anger and hate and upset I get, but people are, I think, directing it in the wrong places. All of this upset, all of this anger, all of this hate should be directed to Steven because he is a scammer. He has been a scammer for decades now. People have tried to not only bring all of the skeletons in his closet to light, but also to repeatedly across Reddit in the form of YouTube videos inform the general community of everything wrong with him and everything he has done incorrectly and all the abuse that has been a part of his life for the last God knows how long. Now, at the end of the day, it's a shame this has happened. At the end of the day, maybe some of these people will find new jobs. My hope is that they do, because they deserve it. A lot of them were very talented individuals. I hope that more of them come forward with information, with their experiences in the company, their experiences with Steven himself. I hope that everyone gets refunded, everyone that backed via Kickstarter, everyone that bought all the packages through the website, everyone that purchased through Steam. And I hope that eventually there's an MMO that we can all actually play and enjoy, because this one ain't it. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.